Select an option below. Exchange. And close door completely. Close door completely. Remove fresh tank from door. E1.
Really?
Door complete.
I'm really digging this Babish walk. Carbon steel. $30 isn't bad, and I used to primarily use a walk when I lived in four walls, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that one. They do have them in stock. It claims to be rollback, but I've seen them cheaper than $89 before. I'm gonna hold off. I already got one. Gonna give this a try. It's 65 miles. I'm hoping it works for us. Yoink. Good morning, everyone. At lunchtime, we used the last of our propane in the big bottle. That's why I'm over here swapping out and getting some groceries. I got some pork belly on clearance at work last night, so I'm going to make up a dish with it. And I need some more odds and ends, paper towels. I was out of creatine. Spent like $60, but saved $7 with my employee discount, so I can't really complain. I'm tired, but I want to make sure I move around a little bit. So, and I bought that antenna because I do like using my Blu-ray player, but it takes a bit of hooking up and it runs through the Jackery. This way I kind of run my TV through my solar setup through my 12 volt and just have some background noise while I'm chilling. I am getting ready to go to the back and get things started for cooking. First things first, I gotta clean up a mess. Grable slipped when she jumped last night, or this morning, whatever you want to call it, and she basically just hooked their food bowl just enough to pour their kibble out. So I gotta do that. But I did clean out my shop vac and hoses at work during my break last night, so I'm gonna shop vac real quick. Everybody say hi to BMO, and then I'm gonna get started on cooking. This is the pork belly I got for $9.83, premium pork belly. So this is what we're gonna go with. All right, there's my two pieces I'm gonna work with. I'm gonna slice them up. I don't know if you've ever had pork belly before, but if you like a fatty meat, if you're one of those people, the weirdos like me that like, you know, really marbled steak or the fatty part of bacon, then this right here, that's what you want. Now we're going to make a bit of a marinating sauce. Soy sauce, a lot. Fish sauce. Oyster sauce. A little bit of hot sauce, because I don't have sriracha. Now we're going to add chili powder, garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of salt, black pepper, just because I like black pepper. Ordinarily I would do brown sugar. For some reason I thought I had brown sugar, but I guess I don't. No, I guess I don't. Alright, so add sugar. That's what she looks like. And I'm going to use a fresh butane can for this recipe, just because I want to make sure everything cooks up really nice. Step one is we're going to go ahead and work on getting a sear on our pork belly. Pork belly has fat in it already, but I got this little extra virgin olive oil to kind of coat my pan a little bit. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, that's about right. Just turned it. This is what it's looking like right now. Alright, that's what I want to see. Right there. That's the coloring and the consistency I'm looking for. Transfer all of this into a bowl. We'll put a little bit of the marinade on there. Just a little bit. And just stir that in there with it. Just to give it a little bit of a coating. Alright. Turn the heat down a little bit. This oil is really hot. Alright. Now I have these Hokkien stir-fry noodles. You gotta kind of do these quick. You get two to a pack, so I'm just doing one pack. Alright. Alright, that's in. It'll kind of break up a little bit. I'm already turning off my heat because that's plenty of heat for these kind of noodles. Breaking up a little more than I expected, but that's okay. Adding my sauce. There we go. Good. I'm going to use the spoon to stir it this time. Let that reduce down just a bit. I want to taste one of these while I'm waiting. It's like crisp on the edges of the pork, that creaminess of the fat. It's like bacon on steroids. Alright, this should be done. Let's get one more stir in. Yeah, that should be done. And this is the finished product right here. So I'm going to taste the noodles first. Nice and doughy. Very hot, nice and doughy though. The marinade with that oil. I wish I had a little chili oil, but That right there, look at that. Yeah. This hits the spot. And they're so doughy. I'm gonna try hooking up that antenna while this cools a little bit. It is still a little hot. And if everything works out, I'll be watching some Air Channel TV, which I haven't done in years, and eating this. Two cats are chilling in the cab. Waddles is on the bed. Bemo's on the cat bed. It's a bit of a mess back here. It's only a mess because stuff's laying around. Everything's been kind of cleaned and vacuumed, so it's not terrible. But there's Waddles. He doesn't like the smoke, but he came back here to hang out. And there's Bemo. Bemo's waiting to see if she gets to have any of this pork belly. Happy. Her favorite spot is when I put my jacket across the steering wheel so it gives her like a little bed to lay on. That seems to be her favorite spot now. She's by the crack of the glass, so she's taking the fresh air. Doesn't appreciate the smoke. And there's Betty Guable on the other side. Her usual spot nowadays, unless she's ready to sleep. Then she goes on there. Right, everyone, let's see if this antenna works. It's not the cheapest one. It's not the most expensive, but it has some range, so let's see if it works. This is the antenna I went with. RCA. The reason why I wanted to come here is this Walmart doesn't keep their stuff in a glass case. My Walmart, I have to find somebody to open it for me, even though I work there. Let's go ahead and use this knife here. This one, I wanted something that had the adhesive capability since I'm going to be hooking it up inside my van. And this one has the range of, one of the higher ranges of 65 miles. So I'm hoping, since I'm not in a bricks and mortar house and stuff, that this will work. This is what it looks like. So this is essentially the antenna here, and you can adhesive it on. So I'm hoping it's going to hook up on one of my bare metal spots. And let's see. It's got a USB booster too, which is fine. We got that USB slot on the TV. It should work. I guess it worked. Yeah, let's hook you up like this. That's how I think it's supposed to go. Basically, this is a USB booster. It has a USB slot on it, and then I imagine this coax for the antenna hooks up right there. I actually expected some better quality tips. I thought it'd be at least some gold tips. You guys remember when those were a big deal? Maybe some of you don't. Some of you are young. RCA. Alright, that goes on there. This is going to go on my TV. This should plug in the USB section of my television. Then we'll have an antenna and we'll see if it's going to work. Alright, so I plugged the USB right there, and then this is the coax spot, and of course I got my 12-volt plug for the TV. So now we're going to power the TV on. Let's see what we end up with here. Alright, I just got the antenna laying on the bed right now. I don't know if you can see where I'm at, but it's doing a scan. We'll see what we end up with.
Important. I'm just a
Well,
old bachelor that
looks like it works. I'm pretty happy with it. Looks like I got a lot of channels off of it.
You read my poem. What right have you got, miss?
Yeah, right. You just give me an help.
All right, we got to hustle. Cats and I slept in. It was a nice day today. Of course, I had that nice meal. I just basically found a channel that had Stargate running. So I watched Stargate SGU. Not really watched. I had it running in the background. Played with the cats most of the time that I was awake. But it wasn't much because it was already getting close to noon by the time I had everything done. And so SG1 playing in the background after I ate, played a little bit with the cats, like did a little feather on a string. They were going nuts, taking turns because they didn't really want to give up their time in the cab. Waddles and Happy especially stayed on the windshield. And it stayed pretty warmish for us with the sun hitting the van. It got up to close to 50, and in the van that means it probably got close to 60, which is comfortable for me. I started falling asleep, so I covered myself up with my furry blanket, turned the heater off. Didn't have the heater running that much. I only had it running for about an hour before then. And passed out pretty quick, I guess. So I'd say maybe about 1-ish. But then I woke up about 4:30. All the cats had migrated to the back and were sleeping. Sorry about that. Phone filled up. Waddles was on his cat bed. Grable and Bimo were sleeping on me. Grable on my chest, Bimo on my legs, and at the bottom of my feet, Happy was curled up, because if my toes hit her, she would growl. She gets that way. She's asleep, she doesn't know who does it, so she just growls like it's one of the other cats. If I say, "It's me," she'll go, meow, like I'm sorry. But enough chit chat. It's 9:20. We're in the other town, so we got to kind of mosey, and I haven't changed yet, so I'm really running behind. Well, I made it. Now I just got to change to get inside before it's time for me to clock in, which is getting pretty close. Tell you what, though, it was a nice bright day. Nice bright day, and I had the cab open, so condensation was all dried up. Bed's a mess right now, but I'll show you what the kitty cats look like. Little Happy sleeping and putting cat hair on everything. Bimo. Mr. Waddles judging me. And of course, Grable is under the bed. Alright, I'm going to finish getting dressed. I've got the heater on high just to get the chill out. And then I'm going to shut it down and go inside. Everyone, I've had a good day. I hope that you have as well. And until next time, this is your old pal, Hannibal the Vanable, signing off.